everybody. Hi, Shanisa. So, welcome. Hi, Margaret. So, welcome, everybody. I want to wish you all a very happy Mother's Day Eve. I want to wish a very happy Mother's Day to my mom in particular, my #1 editor. After it goes to the editor with Touchpoint, it always goes to my mom, and she's read As the Winds Change and Where You Are a dozen times, and she acts just as excited each time she reads it, so it's amazing. She's amazing, and I couldn't do this without her. So, very happy Mother's Day to all you mothers out there, especially my mom. Hi, Rose. I'm so glad you made it. I was debating about the time, the 9 o'clock time, because I wanted the sun to have set, and I didn't know it was going to be snowing here today. It snowed a little bit. So, crazy May. But yes, happy Mother's Day. And the excerpt of Where You Are that I'm going to be reading it kind of aligns with Mother's Day. So, I'm going to start by reading the end of As the Winds Change. Spoiler alert for anybody that hasn't read As the Winds Change yet. And then I'm going to talk more about the story and why I'm so excited to have the sequel come out. And I will be telling you when it's coming out, and I will be showing you the cover. So, very soon. So I'm going to read the end of As the Winds Change. Mark the spot. Okay. This is As the Winds Change. And the back cover, it's an emotionally rich story of love and forgiveness. If you were given one more chance to talk with someone who passed away, what would you do? What would you say? When April Miller's estranged childhood best friend, Johnny, is killed in a car accident, April is confronted with his spirit as she's heading to work one day, making the phrase, "It's never too late," all the more poignant. I'm out the door the next morning, before the sun has risen above the house across the street. I stand in the driveway in front of my house and take one last look at where I grew up. My body feels stiff and tired from sleeping on the floor all night, but my heart and eyes couldn't be more awake. Years of memories play out in front of my eyes. I hear the garage door open and close, rollerblades on the driveway, and the lawnmower running in the warmer months. I see snowmen and igloos on our front yard, and every season's bloom and color in the spring, summer, and fall. I see every member of my family, including Johnny and his mom, coming and going from this house, and images of lingering chats on the walkway and driveway. I look at the worn nature of this house that has seen me through so much, and I close my eyes briefly in a prayer. I pray that the next family that lives here will recognize how special this house is and love it even more than I did. I pray that it will be more than just a house to them, that it will be a home. I turn away, swallowing my tears. It's time. My next chapter starts here. Nothing will ever be the same again. This is where one life ends and a new one begins. I drive in silence, feeling naked in the closing out of 29 years of my life. My busy heart brings me all the way to New Jersey before I realize how quiet it is in the car. I automatically pull out the other CD that I brought for the trip and pop it into the player. The sweet strains of my father's song fill the car. No matter what else life has in store for me, I have been given an amazing story that will forever make up my core. And it's all about love. Isn't it amazing how a whole life can change in a season, in a few weeks, in a day even? Already this year, I found more love than I could have ever imagined. I've never been without love, but now I have even more to experience and so much more to give. I can't wait to see what the future has in store for me. I'm ready to face it all with a fearlessness that I've never experienced before. Love, faith, and fearlessness. I spent so much time wanting, desiring, and longing for something I couldn't define, when the entire time the colors were already being swept onto the canvas. The notes were being drawn, and the winds were steadily changing. When I felt that first fresh spring breeze and the first touch of the summer sun, change was occurring. And when I put all the signs together, I realized that I could have never written a better story. That is until Where You Are. So, so Where You Are is happening. And the story is very special to me, as the winds changes too, but Where You Are is particularly where my mindset is right now. And as the winds change, as some of you may know, it was 10 years in the making. So that story, the dialogue between Johnny and April, that started off in my my early 20s. So it was just an incredible experience writing this story. Very imaginative, and I really think you're going to enjoy it. So I will read you the description. I'm waiting to show you guys the cover, keep you in suspense. But the backstory: the love we create and embrace on earth will always be the tie that binds, from here to heaven, forevermore. Lives are shaped once again by the winds of change in the sequel to As the Winds Change. April and her family, Luke and Johnny, return to surprise and stir your heart even more than before. When a life-startling event puts April's story on the proverbial edge, she is led on a journey into the supernatural where she has to decide between her fears and the biggest leap of her life, the love behind or ahead of her. And I'm going to read a small portion of Where You Are, and I think that a lot of the mothers out there will enjoy this part. I had previous experience working with 2-year-olds. They're my favorite age by far because they're so candid and just full of life. And yeah, if I worked with young children again, I would want to work with 2-year-olds. So I'm going to read this portion. Sarah, Allison's daughter. Sarah's room is a soft yellow, like one of the colors in a sunrise, just before a summer blue fades in and transforms the sky for the day. Sarah's big girl bed is made with pink iridescent sheets and a matching blanket. I feel like I just picked out the crib, Allison sighs, turning down the bedding for Sarah to climb in. Plastic white runners are pulled up on each side, aesthetically making this look like a pretty white picket fence rather than the safety guard it actually is. She can easily climb over it, but it keeps her from rolling out of bed. This is your castle, Allison had explained to Sarah. The gate is so the princess can create magic all by herself, and no one else will know about those secret dreams, not even me unless you want to tell me. Sarah liked this explanation. Maybe, Mama, I tell you, but not yet. Allison scrunched her eyebrows and smiled at how smart her daughter already is. That's okay. They're your dreams. Sarah was 100% behind having a space of her own since she is already wildly independent. I remember she had quite the conniption earlier today when I accidentally tried to help take her raincoat off. Sarah, you need to stop screaming. That is not nice, Allison scolded. Aunt April didn't know you wanted to do it yourself. Use your words, please. I do myself, Sarah huffed between sobs. Okay, Sarah, I understand. I stepped away. I pull the covers slowly over Sarah's little frame now, and Allison tucks her in, kneeling on the floor by her bed. What an emotional roller coaster it is with a 2-year-old. Another reality of this age is that if you're feeling unsteady to begin with, like I am right now, you might as well sound the horn because you're undeniably both aboard the same train. I know this from working with this age group, but the feelings are even deeper with Sarah because she's family. When she feels like crying, I feel like crying too. When she's content, I feel like taking a deep breath of happiness and satisfaction as well. At least that's the way I've been feeling today and tonight. The pink flush from an exciting day has gone down in her cheeks, and she pulls her green cuddle blanket with the chameleon from Tangled attached up to her mouth. Her shiny black hair fans out to the right on the pillow as she rolls on her side. "Good night, Sarah." I kneel down, giving her a quick kiss. Allison leans over her next. "I love you, Bunny. Big day tomorrow. Get some sleep." She hugs her daughter and turns off her bedside lamp and room light. I switch on the night lights by the door that fill her ceiling with a glowing moon and stars. So, that is a portion of Where You Are. And if you don't know, Allison is April's cousin, and this is her daughter, Sarah. So there's a lot of, there's some new characters introduced in Where You Are, plus all the ones that you knew, Johnny and April's mom and brother Kevin. So, yeah. So I guess it's about time to share the cover and tell you the release date. So, coming out May 29th, really, really soon, Where You Are will be coming out. And this is the cover. And the back cover. So I hope you can see it okay. I will be posting, it's kind of upside down. I hope it's not, but maybe it is. The whole idea of the story is the ties that bind. So I wanted to have the hands holding. But yeah, May 29th, it will be out. I'm so excited about it. Really passionate about this story. And thank you, Josh. And, yeah. So, and I'm going to also share it on Facebook after live, but I wanted all of you who came to see it first. Thank you, Rose. Thank you, Shanisa. Tomorrow, an article is most likely coming out in the Topeka Capital Journal in Topeka, Kansas. And a lot of you don't know, I'm from Long Island, but I went to school in Topeka, Kansas, and Washburn University, and I absolutely loved it. My brother went to the law school out there, and I followed him out there when after a year of going to school here, I went to school out there, and absolutely loved it. And there's going to be an article about my writing and my books that's coming out tomorrow, I believe. So I will be sharing that on my page. And I also talk about my poetry. But yeah. And back to Where You Are. Like I said, it's about the ties that bind. And it's about connection. And the love that we build. It doesn't disappear, ever. It's lasting. So I'm hoping that it'll be deeply comforting, especially in this time. I think it really, at least for me when I was writing it too, it's very comforting, and it's very imaginative. I don't know what to say about my own story, but I hope you all like it. I think you'll like it, and it's definitely the best writing, some of the best writing that I've done thus far. So I had a lot of fun with it. And it came naturally because I wasn't initially planning on doing a sequel. The storyline just kind of came to me. So this is the end of the series, even though the series is a little bit more, but it's 2 books. So As the Winds Change and Where You Are. I started writing a new story, but I don't know. I don't know whether it's so early now, so I don't know if I can pull it off. But we shall see. What else? You can feel free to ask any questions. Thank you so much, Rose. You can feel free to ask any questions about the books or writing. You'll notice with both As the Winds Change and Where You Are that I began each chapter with a quote, because I think it adds something to the story, helps the reader gain even more insight from each chapter. My poetry, it also makes a cameo in these books. And like I said, poetry, as most of you probably know, is a great passion of mine. I think it connects with my love for music, and it's my way of interpreting life. That's definitely my everyday art, and so that's why I was even saying, like, I'm working on a novel, but it has to be, at a certain point in the story, it just becomes natural for me. So As the Winds Change and Where You Are and The Christmas Break, at a certain point it became natural, and it just flowed. But if that's not happening, I can't push myself to do it. So, thank you, Mom. And, yeah, so, but the poetry, that I do every day, pretty much every day. And, I just think there's, I like how you can write a line in such a way that there's a power to it and beauty, even if you're addressing difficult subjects. It brings clarity for me, and it's just filled with life and energy, and my poetry is probably not, it's more along the lines, I have some favorite poets, this Langlev, and this poet that I told you about last time by Atticus, and I think that it should be approachable, and it should be just about truth, and like I said, the lines just somehow come to me. So I can't wait. I'm hoping it's still being considered the poetry book that I wrote. It's still being considered. I'm supposed to find out this spring, so you all will be the first to know. What else? Yeah, so I was thinking about reading 2 poems that I wrote a while ago and showing you the book that I put together a while ago as well. So I put this whole book together. I did a lot of writing, like especially in my 20s, and I started writing, you'll read in the article with the Topeka Capital Journal, I started writing poetry, like collections, when I was out there in Kansas, and I was in an advanced poetry writing class. But I have a whole book full of poems, and then I put some pictures and different things, so it's a very sentimental book, postcards. And so I'm going to read you, I marked 2 poems that I wrote a while ago, and I'll read you 2 of those. I hope you like them. The Older Man. This one actually came to me when I was sitting, I don't know, in a Barnes & Noble or a Panera, and I witnessed this and thought about it, and Alistair might make a guest appearance. I want him to say hi, but I don't want him to yell at me, so we'll see. Yeah, see, he's in back of me. He's getting water. Okay, so, The Older Man. A walker beside him that he pushes back and forth, watching the wheels move. He's still fighting to figure a way through the hurt and pain of this world. Mountain blue eyes that someone fell in love with. They tell a story that the young man beside him isn't interested in hearing. Passing the time and getting his check at the end is all that this means for the younger man. The man beside the older man is filled with such self-importance, though the final destination is clear. It comes down to love, the older man seems to say. The young man's face is in the newspaper. He doesn't care enough to listen. I wasn't always this way, why can't you see? Stopping the fight, the older man decides to pass the time now too, waiting on that someone who is waiting for him. So I was being nosy, and I was observing what was going on, and it really hurt me what I was witnessing, and so that's how I figure out emotions. I write about it. And then the other poem is called Self-Made, and my poetry, I kind of stick to free verse and narrative poems. So, Self-Made. I've never understood self-made. The term never made much sense to me. Someone breaks your heart, and you're made stronger. Songs play that have you dancing and singing along. Lyrics sound that tell you to keep going. Love makes you feel unique. No matter the kind, love makes you valued. Land and sky that takes your breath away empowers belief. The scent of a lavender flower invigorates your soul. Every experience teaches you something, and at least at one point in your past or in your future to come, at least one someone takes the time to believe in you. We need to realize that we're all in this together. Even when it seems that we are apart, we're not in this life alone. So that's 2 of my poems. Alistair is somewhere. Oh, he went back up on the bed. So I hope you enjoyed those 2 poems. And I What else? What else? What else? The events coming up, I don't know if they're going to be rescheduled. I think there's a good chance that they will be. But I know somebody had asked about upcoming events. June 11th at Quag Firehouse at 6 p.m. June 18th, an author night at East Northport Barnes & Noble. And then August 15th, Comsawag Library at 1 p.m. But like I said, I'll update you on the author page and probably on my regular page too to let you know. I think it's probably going to be rescheduled the way things are looking right now, but who knows. Yeah, I think where you are, it's going to be very, very comforting, because it's all about relationships and family, and with both As the Winds Change and Where You Are, it's about April's journey and the things that she's thinking about at the time, the things she's struggling with, that she, even though she's in her 30s, she is facing these issues now that a lot of people have faced when they were younger. And I just think that that's an important voice to tell, because it definitely, it's fiction, but it's definitely an extension of myself, those two books, As the Winds Change and Where You Are. And I just think that there's more people that their lives have followed a different schedule, and it should be heard, because I don't want anybody, that's one of the main goals in my writing, is I never want anybody to feel alone, and just that everybody has a voice. So I hope everyone has a beautiful Mother's Day tomorrow. Feel free to ask any questions about the sequel, about As the Winds Change, the poetry, anything you want. I will stay as long as you would like me to, but I think I covered everything that I wanted to cover and show you. So May 29th, Where You Are is coming out. It'll be on Amazon and Barnes & Noble, probably Amazon before Barnes & Noble. And I think it's going to be going up for pre-order soon. And, oh, and the companion guide. The title of the sequel, thank you for that question, the title of the sequel, I'm talking too fast, that's why. The title of the sequel is Where You Are. So it's, once again, like As the Winds Change, it has a very spiritual side to it, and belief that we're connected from heaven and earth, we're all connected together. I will definitely give Alistair a kiss. I'd like him to come out now. Just, I want him to yell at me. Because I'd show you the little guy. Maybe I'll wake him up at the end of this video. Yeah, and like I said, I think Where You Are is going to be very comforting, especially with the times that we're in. It's everything I believe in personally. And just imaginings. I can't even tell you because it would be giving things away. But I'll probably do another live once people have read it and hear what you think, and can ask questions. Yeah. Trying to think if there's anything else. All about relationships, love, and that our loved ones are still with us. Yep. So, hey Alistair. Should I do it? Do you want to go for a car ride? Hey Alistair, do you want to go for a car ride? It didn't even work. He's under the blankets. He goes all the way under. I don't know how he breathes, but he does. Thank you, Josh. I can't wait either. Yeah, it's gonna be out at the end of the month. Happened very quick. And the companion journal. Hi, Mary Kay. The companion journal is going to be coming out with Where You Are, and as I mentioned in the last video, that's quotes that I've taken from all three books, As the Winds Change, Where You Are, and The Christmas Break, and I basically posed questions. Hi, Mary Kay. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you all for coming. Yeah, I think you're gonna like it. because it's just a fun way to like think about your own life and think about the memories that you have. Some of the questions that I ask. And I want it to be your own, the companion journal. I want it to be your own personal journal, diary. And hopefully it will inspire you to just think about your own life and all the good that you have in your life and all the things that you want to work on, pursue, passions that have been left behind. That's a subject that is in both As the Winds Change and Where You Are. Just getting back to who you truly are, not letting that person go away. So, yeah, I think that's all I have to say, but like I said, I can stay on for a few more minutes if anybody has any questions. I'm going to be sharing the cover officially on Facebook, so Mary Kay didn't get to see it. It's upside down, I'm sorry about that. But this is the cover for Where You Are. Will you have a book club for the new book? I actually belong to a book club. I don't have my own personal book club, but I'll be doing more of these lives, and any questions that any of you have, I will answer them. I'd be happy to. Have a great night, Rose. Thank you so much for coming. Sorry I made it so late. Hi, Jonathan. Yeah, so May 29th. Thank you all so much for coming. Have a very happy Mother's Day. Thank you, Mary Kay. I appreciate you all coming so much. And I will come on here again soon. Okay, bye everyone.